Okay, I'm live. At least they say I'm live. At least it says I'm live. Okay. I am a Canadian citizen, and I have to say to you, stalwart Americans, your government is most entertaining, especially during the Trump administration. Listen, I've been hearing a lot about what you want to do with Trump legally. Okay. And my understanding is that he was commander in chief of all your armed forces. Is that correct? That your president is, in fact, commander in chief? I mean, if he decides to go to war, you go to war, right? That's commander in chief. That's what that is. Uh, however, uh, since the man attempted to overthrow your political system by way of a coup, and given the fact that he was at the time acting commander in chief of your armed forces, does that not require your armed forces to charge that man with what do they call it? When you go against your military, what's it? Training and all. When you go against your forces, he's a traitor. Yeah. Desertion of his post. Yeah. There's another one. But I think he could be. Yeah, I think he could be charged with the full amount of the insurrection. Uh, whew, like I had in my mind what I was going to say, but there's a word that describes what Trump did as commander in chief of your armed forces and failed to do so. Hmm? He deserted his post, really. Uh, Wanted to hang on to it by way of, and I wouldn't be surprised if Putin was behind it. Putin's a trickster, and if you don't know that now, you'll never know. Putin is a trickster. Yeah, he knew how to get under your American ass skin. How to do that? Attack you at your weakest point, and in Trump's case, it was him. And you have no idea that, like, the man was a traitor. He gave away information from what I'm gathering from your news reports, that he gave away pertinent military information. That tells me that you should be charging him with for being a traitor. Yeah. You know what happens to traitors? They get shot. Uh, in the case of fraternizing with the enemy, yeah. Well, you know, if not a good Steph prison sentence and losing everything he owns, everything he owns. Okay. Anyway, just thought I'd put my 2 cents in there, even though I don't have any say in your country. But it seems to me that a man is commander in chief of your armed forces, commanding your citizens to overthrow a legally constituted election, right? Would put him in the military's bad books. You know what I mean? Could he not be charged by the military because he was commander in chief of the armed forces? Right? That makes him subject to military law, does it not? If it not, then why not? If he's commander in chief of your all armed forces, right? That makes him a member of the armed forces, right? So if he attempts to overthrow your political system and goes against the army he's supposed to be in charge of, commander in chief, yeah, then shouldn't he be given a military court martial? That's the word, court martial. Should he not be court martialed by the military? I mean, it's really not a civilian matter. He was the commander in chief of your armed forces. That makes him a member of the armed forces, and therefore he is subject to that. Uh, the man's a traitor. Anyway, I just thought I'd air that. I know nobody's going to bother listening to it because I mean, who am I? I'm just a white-haired Canadian guy, and I observe things, and I hear things, and rather than stay silent, I decided that maybe it might be a good idea to say something, even though it's none of my damn business. Well, actually, it is because everything that goes on in your country affects us. Everything, because we are judged by your uh, attitudes and demeanor. Unfortunately, because I say unfortunate because we Canadians, we have a better grasp of who we are in this world, and apparently you Americans don't. You're supposed to be the end all and be all of military powers and so on, the bastion of Western civilization. Bullshit. Canada knows more about democracy than your asses do. At any rate, and not above and beyond all that, the man was a traitor, right? He was in the military, commander in chief of all your armed forces, and therefore, what he did should come under a military jurisdiction. The man should be charged with treason. All right? Enough said. Anyway, I'm done. Bye now. Okay. End.